Let's have a little look at this one. When you think about Spurs and how they're trying to change things up, Tim, your old side, how are they going to react going into this one, do you think?
Big game. I mean, it's a chance for Villa to really get up there with Tottenham and push. It's difficult for Tottenham at the moment, we know, because of the injuries and suspensions. Van der Ven's been a huge miss. Romero with the correct red card he got against Chelsea. Undogi's been a big miss, and obviously Maddison, who's one of the signings of the season, has been instrumental with everything good they've done. All we've got with Ange Postecoglou is a manager who will play only one way. Yeah. I mean, he's told us that. He's quite clear in his statements that
he will. Right?
He play on the front foot. I think he's right when it's 11 v 11. I have my question marks when you go down to 9 men and you want to play on the halfway line. So certainly against a team like Villa, where Ollie Watkins loves to run in behind. You know, he'll be relishing this. He will know he has a race tomorrow with the likes of Eric Dyer and maybe Davis, you know, who are going to be the two standing centre-backs. And he will fancy his chances in that race. Likewise, Villa play with a high line as well. Sonny could exploit them in behind, Kulusevski. I really like it. I mean, the cloud been lifted away from Tottenham. It's been boring to watch over the last 3 or 4 years, and now it's not. You know, we've got a manager who wants to play on the front foot. The fans want to come back to watch Tottenham. They've never had neutral fans, Tottenham, ever, and I think they've got neutral fans now. I think there is people who have got a second team, and that might be Tottenham now because of Ange Postecoglou. I think he's someone you can warm to. He's a guy. It looks to me like you want to go and have a drink with and have a chat with this fella. He knows he's got a clear plan of how he wants to play, whether it's right or whether it's wrong. At the moment, you have to say it's right because he's done a tremendous job there at Tottenham. He's turned the fortunes around. He needs to keep it going now. Unfortunately, he hasn't got the strength in depth. He's been hit by these injuries just in that one game. And they're going to pay the price for it. You know, they need to win tomorrow. They need to beat Aston Villa because they play Man City away next. You know, it's a tough run of fixtures, and they've been crippled by injuries there, you see, and suspensions. But
well, that's when I ask you if he's right to keep going that way when you see how many players he's got out.
He won't change. He's made it quite clear. I think there's no way he will change. He will just let someone else go back in, continue and do their best in that job how he wants them to play. And I think he's got every right to want to do that. Listen, you can still get beat having 11 men behind the ball. We've seen that over the last 3 or 4 years at Tottenham. Yeah, they haven't looked like they're going to throw a punch. Harry Kane's been pulling them out of the mire year on, year out with Sonny as well. But they've had bodies behind the ball. They haven't been attractive in their play. They've had no style of play, really. It's just about damage limitation and anti-football. Now you're not seeing that at Tottenham. You're seeing a team who want to go out and entertain, and the manager who gives a group of players a lot of confidence to be able to do that. That's tremendous. You know, the boys will tell you, when you're in the changing room, you go in there Monday to Friday, and then you play on the weekends. You need to enjoy what you're doing, and they're certainly enjoying what this man's giving them at the moment. Yeah. So I would tip my hat to him. I think he's done a brilliant job at that football club. Unai Emery, on the other hand, has done a magnificent job as well. A little bit slower with his development. He has a clear way of playing. He has a group of players who fit into that system. It's going to be a hell of a game tomorrow.
We'll talk about Villa in just a bit, but on everyone's second team, Paul, maybe you won't back that one up, but yeah, thank you for that look.
Some people's, no.
Some people. Not everyone's cup of tea. As a player, when you've got a manager giving you that confidence in, we're just going to play this way, I'm going to keep playing you, they need that to build on, obviously, but do you think at times he should change it?
It's good if you're a forward-thinking player. Yeah. It's not great if you're a defender, if I'm being honest, because as what happened the other week, playing on the halfway line. But he's changed Tottenham. You know, Tottenham now, they've got injuries, but they're a decent team. They're good to watch, they're good on the eye, and they have a go. I could see what he was doing the other week at Chelsea. You know, he's gone in at half-time and thought, we're playing with 10 men. Chelsea are going to get a chance to score. What's the point in just letting this game fizzle away? We'll have a go and we'll mix it. When it got to the last 15 minutes and it's still 1-1, then I think he should have sat on the edge of the box. But
was Wolves the bigger problem?
I think Wolves, yeah. I think, again, you know, he's come from Australia to Japan, to Scotland, to the Premier League. He's done that playing his way. You can't go back on it. You know, you got a dream of... You're managing a big club in the Premier League. They are. Tottenham are a big club. You're in the best league in the world. Why would you come in and change it? You wouldn't. And I fair play to him. You know, I like him. I don't know him, but I like him. This is a hard game for Villa. People turn up tomorrow and think Villa are going to win this game. Villa's away record's not very good. It needs to be better if they want to challenge. And I think Tottenham cause Villa a lot of problems tomorrow.
Mas, would you not change it, though? And this is not me being disrespectful, but when they play that high line, they got Van der Veen and they got Romero, who can cover each other. If you're going to then... Last week they played, I was going to say it to Dorse as well, where you've got Eric Dyer and Ben Davies, who... Yeah, good defenders, but they're not the quickest like the other two.
They didn't play like that, though, against...
No, I didn't say
Chelsea,
that against Wolves.
I was pulling my hair out against Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea they did. But I think they still could do that against Villa. It's the battle of the high lines, because Villa play a high line, don't they?
Yeah, but I think if you're...
Yeah.
I'd fancy myself more if I was Tottenham tomorrow with the high line. With Son. I think the Watkins situation, Watkins going away last week, playing for England, not doing very well, that affects you. It's a different... You come back and you think, am I that good? Am I that good? I thought I was better than that. And it knocks your confidence a bit. And I think, Son, Kulusevski, I think Tottenham have to play that way because they've got to score goals. You've got to play to your strength. We watched Tottenham so many times last year and you've got the best centre-forward in the world of football up front and everybody else is having more touches than him. That can't be right. And this is what they've done this time. They swapped it around. That's why Son has been on fire because they're playing to the forward strengths. And I think this will be a very good game, but I'd be quite shocked if Tottenham lost this game tomorrow.
The first 10 games, they were absolutely magnificent.
Yeah.
We spoke about Ange Postecoglou, how good he was. He had the personnel that he could go and play in that way. You had Christian Romero, you had Mickey van der Ven. They can defend in 1v1 areas. No disrespect to Eric. Eric's been unbelievable serving Eric Dyer, Ben Davies. They're not quick. And at Wolves, they didn't play that bigger high line. They were poor at Wolves, Spurs. They were really disappointed. They started the first 10 minutes, front foot, front three, magnificent. You lose James Maddison. Papa Sarr played in that position. James Maddison is irreplaceable. And they never replaced Christian Eriksen for many, many years. They did it with James Maddison.
It don't matter how many injuries you got when you play in the Premier League. You've got to keep the ball.
Yeah.
And not the other week against Wolves, they constantly give the ball away. If you keep it for 4 or 5 passes like you see here with Liverpool, when they keep it for 3 or 4, they're going through Man City. You lose the ball cheaply, and that's what I thought they did last week. And probably the Maddison thing does help because he does control it. He's a very good number 10 in my opinion.
Well, we've spoken a lot about Spurs then. What about Aston Villa and the job, Sue, that Emery's done? Just, again, when you look at him coming into that club, someone like Watkins, how he's developed him and brought him on.
Oh, he's been absolutely brilliant, and you look at the home form, 13 home wins, which is just incredible, and you can see that every player knows their roles and what's expected of them. Like you mentioned, players are improving. The likes of Ollie Watkins, Emery's certainly getting the best out. We know he's a detailed manager. We know he does a lot of work on the pitch. He does a lot of meetings off the field as well. And against Fulham, Zaniolo, he did well. McGinn was outstanding in that game. And they had that box midfield, lots of energy, lots of quality. But you can pinpoint lots of different positions in Aston Villa where they have improved. And, you have to credit Unai Emery and the job that he's doing.
You think, Michael, that maybe Watkins will bring that, a bit of a hangover from starting that England match, all the expectation coming into this? Because he's actually been involved in more goals. Only 2 have been involved in more than Haaland and Salah as well.
He's been absolutely brilliant. Since Unai Emery came through the door at Aston Villa, I mean, he runs in behind, he knows his strengths, and that's it, 1v1 against a defender. He plays on the shoulder, he's scoring goals. And I think the biggest thing for him since Unai came in, he made his number 1. He's my main striker. Yeah. Danny Ings left. He was in and out of the team. He scores goals. He misses his fair share of chances as well. Let's not kid ourselves. He gets opportunities, but he scores big goals at big times in games. And his record this season has been magnificent. And he's absolutely thriving. Got his opportunity for England. And I don't see a hangover. I see him playing with an awful lot of confidence. What Unai has done since he's gone into that football club is remarkable. It really, really is. In a short space of time, to be where they are, 5th, only a point behind Spurs, is going to be a big game. But I think the whole team, the way he plays, I love watching them.
Yeah.
You look at Diaby coming in. I look at the full-backs. We Matty Cash so high up getting goals. Everyone has just got such an impact in the game. John McGinn, captain. I just love him. He plays with energy, aggression, everything about it. I think Villa, top team, it's going to be a tough game for Spurs tomorrow. I know their away form isn't, Sue touched on it there, 13 home wins on the bounce in the Premier League. That's remarkable. That is unbelievable. Their away form isn't the same as what it is at home. 23
wins in 37 games under Emery. How difficult is it when you're straight into that dressing room to, we could all say Watkins will be a good player, but to identify those, McGinn, to bring them all on board?
That's the art of management, is to get the best out of the individuals, you know, and collectively your team will improve. I think he's done a wonderful job. He looks like he's really calm. He's got a calming influence. Doesn't get too high when they win and doesn't get too low. I really fancy him tomorrow. I really do. I know they're a different team at home. Outstanding. I think they've trailed for 40 minutes at home all season. They're away this time. Tottenham will come out. They will play on the halfway line. We touched on that. I just think that Aston Villa are able to cope with the halfway line themselves. Torres and Konza have got pace. You know, they could possibly cope better than Dyer and Davis will. And Ollie Watkins, he played for international. It must have been frustrating for him. You know, he was trying to run in behind. There was no space in behind. Everyone was behind the ball. They were sitting back. They won't be like that tomorrow. The goals where we saw there, where he's breaking away from the halfway line, he get plenty of opportunities there tomorrow. They can get up in support of him, like Diaby, who's been brilliant. I think they've got a real chance tomorrow to leapfrog Tottenham into 5th place.